In this video, we're going to talk about how to run for the Board of Education. It's easy. Lots of people do it. A lot of people win the election. There are certain steps that you must do if you're serious about winning. Stick with me to the end because I got a lot to share. I'm going to touch on several subjects here. One is the importance of knowing the jurisdiction where you are running. The second is knowing what is entailed with doing the job as a member of a board of education. Third thing is understanding the intricacies of a campaign message that you disseminate during the campaign. The fourth is how you raise the money that you might need, the importance of advertising, and why in some school board elections it is essential that you go door to door. I mentioned knowing your jurisdiction. Frankly, I do not know how candidates can tell me what their campaign message is and then in the same breath tell me they've never looked at the demographics of their jurisdiction. You can't do that properly without knowing the data. What's in the data that you need to look at? First is look at past turnout patterns in school board elections so that you can get some idea of what turnout could be in your school board race, the political affiliation of the voters, the demographics of the electorate that is likely to vote, their age, their ethnicity, their race, the property taxes they pay, the median income of each household, and critically, the number of children who live in their household that may be enrolled in that school system. It is essential that you understand that because you can't properly construct a campaign message if you don't. If you have no idea where to find that, leave your question in the comments section and I'll tell you. Now, in any school board election, there are certain groups that we call stakeholders. They are the groups that really care passionately about who wins a school board election. I'll take the first and obvious one. Parents with children that are enrolled in the school system. Ask any parent what the most important gift there is that they could bequeath to their children. And most of them will say it's a good education. That means they learn what they need to learn in high school so that they can get a job and keep a job or go on to college. And nothing makes a parent angrier than feeling like their children are not being well served by a school system. So parents are stakeholders in an election for school board. And you should be talking to every person in your jurisdiction that has a student in the school system. The second group of major stakeholders are teachers, their paychecks, and the people who are in their families that depend on that teacher earning a decent salary. If you want to wrap up a hornet's nest, go out in a school board election and start talking about cutting the salaries of teachers. They will come out in arms. You will start a war if you do that. Nobody in their right mind ever suggests that. Now, there are other people who care, teachers, parents. There are people who work in the school system that care passionately about who wins, and there are community and civic leaders who take pride in the kind of education that children receive in this community or in your community, including realtors, because what's the one question most realtors get when somebody's talking about buying a home in the jurisdiction is, tell me about the schools and the quality of education that kids receive here. And if they don't have a good answer to that, they don't buy. The fourth thing I'll mention here is your campaign message. If you're running for school board, what is it that you hope to accomplish? What are you going to do to elevate the quality of instruction? What are you going to do to keep class sizes at a reasonable level? What are you going to do to make sure that teachers are well paid or that the salary levels are such that more qualified teachers might apply to work in your school system? Do you have a policy that you want to change? Is there a policy that you consider deleterious to the quality of instruction in the schools? What is the state of the libraries in the school system? Do you have any changes you would want to make with that? Voters will expect you to tell them what it is that you hope to accomplish with the job, and you need to have a good answer. Before I continue with the most important thing I'm going to tell you, I want to tell you about a new ebook I've just completed, The 12 Essential Steps to Preparing for a Political Campaign. It's yours. It's free to you. I would suggest you download that and read every word in it, because if you do, you stand a much better chance of winning an election. That other thing that I'm going to mention, I kind of saved the best for last here. Most school board races, or races for the Board of Education, really happen among fairly small group of voters. I mean, it's not like running for the U.S. Senate where millions of people are going to vote. Most school districts are not that large. There is a little detail that goes into disseminating your message, and I'm going to call it going door to door and actually talking to parents, to teachers, and the people who are stakeholders in this election. If you engage people going door to door, if you listen to their concerns, if you listen to the parents who care about their child's education, if you listen to the teachers or the administrators about what could be improved in the school system, if you demonstrate to them that you are a great listener and running only because you want to improve the school system in your jurisdiction, they are far more likely to vote for you, and you stand a much better chance of winning. I shall add one other thing to that. As you go door to door and as you talk to people, this is something that you can do to kind of seal the deal with the people you've talked to. When you get home that night, pencil out a little handwritten note to them. Tell them how much you enjoyed hearing their thoughts in your conversation. Tell them that you have this cell phone number they're welcome to call if they ever have a question for you. That thing, it's something that very few candidates do, but I got to tell you that when they do it, it is like magic, that you took the time to thank them for sharing their thoughts. In a tight race, that's one of the little tricks that will put you over the top. Don't forget to download that ebook, The 12 Essential Steps to Prepare for a Political Campaign. It will help you win an election.